Women's Services, can I help you?
We're so proud to honor women throughout the town of Brookhaven in our recognition night. We're celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Women's Services Division. Every service from the helpline to support groups to counseling to Dress for Success, just tremendous programs offering needed services to women throughout the township. We get to celebrate some successes with our honorees at the recognition night, that's a good thing. You know, and these days times are so tough. A lot of the services we provide are to women in need, and it's nice to be able to kind of balance that, celebrating women who've been incredibly successful in the town of Brookhaven. But we shouldn't let that distract us from the core services we provide in women's services. These days it's so needed. The helpline calls are up almost 25%. A lot of our other services are in tremendous demand, so we're proud to be able to offer those services to our residents and particularly to women in the town of Brookhaven.
Dress for Success is housed here in the town of Brookhaven. We have one part-time employee that runs this whole boutique along with her volunteers. And I want to thank all of them for the work they do, as well as our women's services staff. They do a great job. They partner with the Youth Bureau and the Senior Bureau and work on basically quality of life issues for the residents of the town of Brookhaven. The town of Brookhaven is the second affiliate to open up for Dress for Success worldwide. Currently we have 115, so that's a pretty substantial number and something that Brookhaven residents and the people that run the program should be very proud of. The word is getting out, the services that we offer are being recognized, and we are really making a difference in the quality of life for the women within Brookhaven.
I'm Edna Gerard, and I'm one of the originators of the women's services in the town of Brookhaven. And this is my husband,
Gene Gerard, past councilman in the town of Brookhaven. And I listen to my wife at all times, and that's why we have women's services today.
And now, because it's the 25th anniversary of the Women's Recognition Night in the town of Brookhaven, it's time to introduce some of our candidates for acknowledgement tonight.
I'm really joining a list of very important scientists who received this award years ago, and it's starting, I think, back in '88 or some years ago when Nora Volkov received this award, and now she's the director of the National Institute on Drug Abuse Research, and she's in Washington. She was my mentor, she still is for many years, and Joanna Fowler, who's also an incredibly talented chemist who still works at BNL and still very much a leader and a mentor for us, the younger scientists, males and females.
I think that volunteerism is a gift that you need to give your children. I think that they need to realize they need to reach out beyond themselves to others, because that's what life is about. It is truly in giving that you receive. Mother Teresa once said that you can do no great things, only small things with great love. And that's how I feel about my life. I was actually overwhelmed and humbled and felt somewhat inept when I found out about this award, because I really don't do great things. I just do a lot of small things, but with a whole lot of love and passion.
To be honest with you, my husband told me I had to call the town Brookhaven. I was like, why am I calling? So when I called up, I spoke to a young woman named Teresa, and she said, you've been honored and you've been selected. And I said, selected for what? And she goes, you have no clue what I'm talking about, do you? And I said, no, I really don't. And she proceeded to tell me that I had been nominated by Kathy Walsh and started telling me how the whole process went. So I was definitely blown away. My husband said, now you remember when I was asking you all those questions? I said, yes, okay, all the pieces. And when I went into work, I found out my boss knew about it, and so it was quite a surprise, quite an honor, quite a shock.
A lot of times you go to a call and you handle it, but sometimes you do need those groups. You really do need them to help the other side of it, because it's not just us going there and answering a call and saying, okay, you know, you were just abused by your husband. Now what are we going to do? What are we going to do to help you? So it's definitely, that is a great group to help out.
one of the things I'm proud of, in addition to being the Chief Assistant District Attorney, is that I'm the first woman to hold that position in the District Attorney's Office, in the history of the District Attorney's Office. So in terms of my colleagues and the people that I come into contact with, I hope that I'm a role model for all of them. When I started working in the District Attorney's Office in 1979, there were half a dozen women in the office. We now have a legal staff that consists of over half women. And of course, much of our support staff is women. Our victims advocates are women. And more, the law enforcement partners we work with are women as well.
More recently in Stony Brook, we've created a Women's Heart Center, which is an effort to focus the delivery of heart care to women. And that group includes cardiologists and internists who have a focused interest in women's health care and specifically women's heart health care.
A couple of the women in the group said when they go back to their cots at night, they didn't know what kind of vermin would be in their beds, and that there was this whole ritual they had to go through before they could go to bed at night. And so we went to Walmart and bought every glue trap they had. Who knew Walmart had glue traps? But they do. And so we sent enough so that they could ring their cots in the morning when they went out, so that they could get safely into their beds at night. That may not, in 10 years, matter a whit to anyone. But those nights, we made a difference. They could go to bed and feel comfortable.
I felt so gratified when I heard that I was selected for this award, because sometimes you're not sure when you work with young people if people even realize the importance of that work. And to be even noted amongst the other women that are being honored is incredibly, makes me very proud. And it took me a minute to be able to even take it in.
I got together with a handful of cleaning companies throughout the United States, and we decided to start a nonprofit, which is Cleaning for a Reason, and we wanted to help women who are undergoing cancer treatment. We started with 12 cleaning companies, and we're up to 750 cleaning companies throughout the United States, Cleaning for a Reason. And I kind of owe that all to my sister, all right, because probably it would have never evolved if I hadn't lost her. So in all bad things, good things happen.
As program director, I work with a physician assessing people who are suspected of having a dementia, but I do a lot of community outreach programs, support groups for patients suspected of having dementia or who have been diagnosed with dementia. The most unusual call I've had was from a woman who was 102, legally blind, and she was taking care of her son who was in his 80s, and she suspected he had dementia and actually brought her son to our center to be diagnosed. 102, and she was still a caregiver.
When I could touch another person, when our board can touch another person, when a program that I have something, even a little bit to do with, can positively touch another person, there's just no words to articulate the feeling that you have inside. And that's what I get to do on a daily basis in my job. That's what I get to do with this program. And I'm just so proud of this program. And I can't even express how I felt when I was told that I had won this award. I know the names of some of the previous recipients in this category, and I have the utmost regard for them. And to be among them now is just, again, makes someone who, for those who know me, is rarely speechless, absolutely speechless. I can't even find the words to properly articulate how I feel, but I am proud. I am so honored and really grateful